Do you feel extremely moody or extremely sad at this moment? Do you find that there are relationships and energies, situations popping up in your life again from the past, revisiting you once again, and that just fills you with great sorrow or great grief? Then this is perhaps your reading. We are going to look a little bit deeper in what this is all about. Maybe you want to find out your Pluto placement in your chart. Pluto is right now visiting us in Aquarius on 4 degrees, so maybe you want to check out that area of your chart as well, because Pluto is about regenerating stuff. It is about rebirth. It is also about those underlying volcanoes we all carry around from our deep consciousness that is beginning now to wake us up. So maybe you find yourself at this time in a situation that is calling for duality. This is power of attraction coming in to teach us something about ourselves. Maybe it's a deeper part of ourselves. Maybe it's another person, again, a relationship that is coming back to you to call for some kind of rebirth, regeneration, or that you just find you want to transform something deeper in your life. It's all reminding you of that. So this could be a time of duality. Now, duality and opposition is not always the same, but I feel here that this first card, is talking about oppositions. But oppositions are often coming in to teach us something about integrating stuff that we don't like to look at, that we perhaps have forgotten all about. Pluto is also the great suppressor, something that we don't feel we can handle to look at. It's just too dangerous for us. We feel deep anxiety just thinking about going deeper into those emotions. But this is a time calling for exactly that. So face your fears could also be the headline for you in this reading. I pulled a couple of tarot cards. Here we have 10 of voices and 6 of emotions. This is pointing to our psyche, where we have some suppressed emotional stuff. And we need some kind of mental breakdown, is what I'm sensing here. Some kind of mental breakdown that would just make us go deeper into our emotions, not longer keep us in some kind of thinking pattern that is telling us that we're not good enough, or that we are not deep enough, or that we don't care, that we are cold people, or however we are talking down to us here. We have reached a climate here mentally in how we're speaking to ourselves, thinking about ourselves, or perhaps this is your environment talking to you like that. That is definitely suppressing your feelings, your dreams, your hopes, and your longings. So there is something in our psyche here where we need to spend more time on our feelings. Our psyche is the duality, or maybe this time showing up as an opposition, but our thinking patterns and our feelings are what makes our psyche. So there's definitely something here to be looked at. Maybe you're sitting here at the bottom of your personal ocean right now. You feel like a zombie at this time. This is definitely also something about that we don't function, we don't think in the normal way we used to think about things. We're not carrying ourselves around in the way we normally would do, and that's because something is calling for us here to look deeper into. So let's dive into the cards, and I will start the reading off with my gem, stone and crystal deck, just to see which stone or which crystal, which color is supporting us at this time. And then we'll have a look at the cards. I will show you the cards. I will turn the camera, and then lastly in the reading I will pull you a personal fairies card. Which fairy face are you wearing right now at this time? So check that out lastly in the video. We are in this reading calling upon Tibetan black quartz. So if you don't have that, any kind of quartz stone would actually do the work or do the trick. This card is saying the black in Tibetan black quartz references the storm-like bursts of an inky mineral often found inside the stone. The Tibetan references the crystal's Himalayan origins. Tibetan black quartz reminds those on the spiritual path to non-judgmentally ask, could I be even clearer right now? Who needs it? Metaphysicists, occultists, centrists, and Sagittarians. Where to put it? Wherever you are looking to elevate the vibe, operate on a higher plane, and explore the vastness of your human consciousness. When to use it? When you're chasing enlightenment on the meditation cushion, when you're pulling tarot cards. And it says, light up your spiritual path, and that's what we're trying to do. And I will just show you a card from a different card deck. Let me just find that. It's really about poetry, but there's a card in there that is just reminding me of Himalaya or Tibet. Maybe some of you are drawn to that. And as I'm saying that, it's actually on the front of this card deck. Okay, that's odd. But sometimes things are calling to us and roaming to us, and there is definitely something about that in this card. And this card says, a distant kiss in a prayer flag. I wish of all wishes that you were here. Through sunlight and rain, I need you near. So I'm also getting that for some of you, you are trespassing with someone who's crossed over. I don't know if you can see the card here. Someone who crossed over, someone who's on the other side, as we say. You are cross-passing that person or that pet or that situation's energy right now. So really sit with that energy for a moment. Maybe pause the video before you move on, because it's very important that you know exactly what this situation is referring to. What is this situation for you? Could it be a relationship? Is it just an energy? Is it about yourself? Is it about your work life? But something that fills you greatly with either grief, sadness, or just emotional impulses. You know, one minute you want to cry, next minute you want to laugh, right? So those are also oppositions. So let's dive into the cards. So let me just pull these two cards up here to remind us about what it is that we are drawing in right now. Maybe there is a particular prayer that you have been saying out loud for yourself every day, or some kind of prayer that seems to just come your way, sentences just popping up in your head repeatedly, you know, many times the same day, or just perhaps repeatedly over perhaps the last week or so. So let's begin by pulling some cards from the Greek mythology. Let's see which god is showing up to support us at this time. What energy streams are we swimming with at this time? Let's see. Let's see what's coming in here for us. And here we have Themis, cosmic order. So let's read a little bit about Themis and what it is that we seemingly have been sending out for it that is now coming back to visit us. This card is saying, Themis was a titan from a time before the Olympus deities. She represents pre-existing cosmic law and order rather than the human kind. So this archetype could be called the will of the gods or natural justice. She is the coding written into the natural laws of our world that go back to the beginning of time. Human social order, planetary rhythms, and animal migratory routes, for instance, all follow her patterns. Without Themis, things are chaotic and pointless. With Themis, justice, karma, and divine timekeeping will prevail, so everything is as it should be. Her gift is good cosmic order. Themis was also a prophetess and could communicate through oracles or divination to ensure her work was done. If you have drawn this card, then you can be assured that the matter in hand is being overseen by Themis, and divine law will help you by ensuring that good karma, justice, and the correct order of things will prevail. So that's some assurance coming in here to let us know that at this time everything is following the cosmic order. Something is coming here that we have been sending out for, or maybe you know a person who's coming in to blend him or herself into your life with their energies, and it's like it feels a little bit off perhaps. Then know that everything is as it should be. Maybe that's a lesson for that person as well as it is for you. So whatever, what comes around goes around, or what is it that we say? I think that's the saying, right? So this is all coming in to light up our spiritual path. There is something here that wants us. There is some kind of powerful attraction now, and maybe we've been waiting for this moment for a long time. So embrace it, even though it feels hard, it feels sad, and we are like zombies walking around in our lives during daytime, and we don't know always where we are emotionally, or it seems that time is passing us by, or we are not really present in the situations that we find ourselves in. That is all normal, and that is also something that we have called for. It's showing us a different side of ourselves. It's trying to show us a different perspective of life itself, perhaps. So let's pull a card to see where we are led into, or where it's leading us into our own chart. And always remember that the better you know your chart, the more you will be able to take with you from my readings. So let's see where the cards are pointing at in our charts today. Where are we gonna look up some stuff in our charts? And remember, also Sagittarian energy was mentioned in this card as well. So there could be something about taking some major leaps of faith also. This is also about what we are, this is about conviction also, and great justice coming in, but definitely broadening our horizon, taking a great leap of faith into the unknown, being optimistic about it, believing in ourselves, being a little bit extra courageous. Let's see what's showing up here. We have card number 13 pointing to Neptune and Pisces energies, and reminding us now that it is time for some kind of reflection. Really a beautiful card, where it's speaking to us of that everything is interconnected. Nothing can really stand on its own, never. That after life there is only life, that death is just a transformation. This is talking about love, all encompassing love, and finding peace with ourselves. So also do what makes you feel peaceful about yourself right now. Maybe you find yourself a little bit lonely, like I mentioned in the beginning of the reading. Even though you are surrounded in your everyday life by other people, you can feel a little bit lonely. Maybe this is talking to you about seeking some more alone time, moving into a room where you are the only person, so that you can really feel what's going on in your life. So let's pull some galactic cards to see what's coming in. Here we are also opening up to the universe, gaining a different perspective on our lives. Here we have been through it all, we have felt it all, we are ready for something new. We are really trying to deal with something that we might feel that we have to sacrifice to be able to move on. So let's have a look at the galactic cards. And here we have the solar plexus chakra coming in, card number 3. And something about 3 could be important for you. Maybe you live in number 3, maybe your birthday is on the 3rd, or something like that. But it's time for some kind of action here. And then we have another chakra showing up, the 5th chakra, our throat chakra. Yes, something needs to be spoken about. Something needs to be said. Maybe this is just an internal conversation with yourself. Again, check out with yourself where you are at on your path at this time. but there is something coming in here to take action on what you say, and also what you're saying, you know, make sure that that's what you're taking action on. Maybe you need to look into how you're taking action on the words you're saying. Do those two chakras reflect each other at this time? Because that could actually be the whole center of this conflict, or these two oppositions meeting up. So let's pull a last oracle card before we are moving on with the tarot. And here we have Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. This is also about Sagittarius energy. We want to learn everything, and we want to look into new horizons. Maybe there's a new hobby coming in. Maybe that's what this is all about for you, where you feel, well, maybe I need to do something that is completely different, that is, I feel that it's out of my territory, but I want to check it out anyway. It's something I haven't done before. Also with Piscean energy and Neptune energy, it's like unknown, but man, I feel that I'm drawn to it. I feel that that is exactly what will make me whole again. So with life lessons, this could point to Saturn, so maybe you want to check out your personal Saturn position in your chart. Soul growth could be where you have your moon, so also check out your moon sign. But definitely study and higher learning, that is all Sagittarius energies. Okay, so let's pull it up over here. Remember, now is the time for you to dive deeper, to take a great leap of faith, going further than you have ever done before. And also, there is nothing to fear. Surround yourself with a lot of love right now. Surround yourself with people who are loving, and that makes you feel like a whole person. So let's look into the tarot and see what's coming in here for us. Let's see what's coming out. Okay, let's pull some more cards and let's see what's coming in here. Let's see what's coming in. What's up for us right now? And so very often when there's something revisiting our lives that was quite painful in the past or quite emotional, we have a tendency to block it out and tell ourselves, well, we are done with that, and maybe we are. We need to ask ourselves how far we have come in that process, because it's different for each and one of us. But we have a tendency to block it out because it was dangerous, it was uncomfortable. Maybe there was some kind of fight or conflict, deep conflict involved in it, but that really just block out the deeper parts of ourselves that assures us a peaceful life with ourselves in all-encompassing love. So sometimes we can be our worst own enemies. Let's see. Let's pull one last card and then let's turn the cards. So at this point you want to ask yourself, what is it that I need to take action on? Also, if it's something that you haven't been speaking about, but maybe you've been thinking about, it's also where I'm led to. Okay. Let's turn the cards, and first we have the Fool in reverse, we have the High Priestess in reverse, we have Six of Cups, another time coming in, and then we have Temperance. So let's pull them up here. Okay, bottom of the card deck, the Devil in reverse coming out here. Yes, we are showing right now the devil, the door in our life, saying you have no place in my life. You are not taking control of my life. You are not leading me into some kind of self-destruction or some kind of self-destructive action pattern here. You are not. I am taking action in my own life. I decide. And with the Fool in reverse, it's about maybe also perhaps lies or betrayals. this card, I'm just going to show you in its upright position. It shows a man with a mic here sitting in his studio. Maybe there's something gossiping going on in your life right now, but the Fool is telling us that in this situation there's a lack of strong will. Normally we move on here, we're not looking back, we're not scared of anything, we are preparing ourselves for something new, but here we are not quite there yet. We can't start preparing for something new before we have been looking into whatever it is that is speaking now to us in our lives, and before we have taken action on it. Once and for all is also what I'm hearing here. And I feel that Themis is coming in here, just cutting through the crap. She's not showing up as an all-encompassing loving mother perhaps, but she's not either she's not on the other hand showing up as a very strict father. She's neither. She's just justice. She's just coming in to cut through all the crap, all the betrayal, all the lies, someone trying to make a shortcut to something, maybe making a comeback into our lives, through some kind of shortcut. But we are clearly saying no here. There is something that we are having an out of ourselves experience here, definitely, with Sagittarius showing up, and also Pisces and Neptunian energies. We are really starting to come out of our own self, our own identity. This is a mix of Capricorn and Aries energy, so maybe you want to check out where you have those two energies in your chart if you want more details on this. But these two energies are both about leadership, where Capricorn is more the strategic leader, doing all the hard work, looking at every detail. And then Aries is more like, yeah, let's go kind of type. Let's take action on that. And also Aries is about ourself, right? So there is something that is reminding me here that we are having an out of ourself experience here. We are leaving our old identity behind. What is interesting here is that Neptune right now is retrograde on 4 degrees in Aries. So that is really about swimming out of old identification or an old self. And Saturn is also right now, Saturn that's ruling Capricorn is also right now retrograde on 14 degrees in Aries. That is about structure, authority, but also about our bodies. So there could be some kind of out-of-body experience that you are having once in a while. You don't feel you're really present, but you do know where you are. But it's really a weird feeling. So some kind of shortcut, and maybe there could be some shortcut for us right now, showing up to actually make it possible for us to enter into a space or a pattern where we actually start to combine the 5th and the 3rd chakra much better than we have had done so far. So look into that. Is it someone who's making a shortcut back to your life, or is it you making a shortcut but where it does feel right? It's like Themis is saying, like, what will be will be. If it's showing up like that, it's showing up like that. And then the Hyperstars in reverse. It's a time for us to think about ourselves. So if you find yourself very introverted this time, it's all okay. These two cards are very dark, and these two cards are very much being in the light. And then we have the light and the dark over here with the devil, right? Maybe also remembrance with the light and dark card over here, that in creation we also have low vibrational energies, right? We have a tendency to focus on devil, like the evil, and that's an energy apart. But actually creation holds every high vibrational energy and every low vibrational energies. Okay, so be aware of that as well, so that we don't cut out the devil as something that is just going to kill us or something very dangerous. It's there to remind us of that. Sometimes we need some kind of challenge to dive deeper into ourselves. Okay, so the Hyperstars an introvert energy coming in. Maybe you find yourself a little bit selfish. That's a good thing. Okay, sometimes we need to be selfish to be able to handle the situations that we are in. So with Six of Cups and the Temperance cards coming up or showing up here, we had Six of Cups also in the beginning of the reading. I will just find those two cards to show you once again. We had Six of Cups here as well. Okay. So it is about our dreams. This is about what we are longing for. This is about the past and memories all coming back. This is like walking down memory lane, right? And that could set our feelings on fire. That could really bring up something again. We have water and fire here, so that could also be Plutonian energy. So something about Pluto again showing up here. That really set us on fire. There was really something intense going on, as Pluto is very intense, and it might felt like a little death in the past, and now it's coming back again. Maybe just to remove the rest of it. So make sure that you don't overdo something, you don't underdo anything. But I'm hearing here for some of you, this is just take the cards or take your energy and run. So maybe something is coming here to haunt you, because Pluto could be our worst nightmares ever. Okay, so it's coming here maybe to haunt you, but it's haunting you for a reason. So if you have the courage to now face that fear or face that nightmare, you will really be able to turn things around and find that there's a much better energy, much less opposition between your throat chakra and your solar plexus chakra. Okay, I feel that that's really the opposition here. That's what's also talking about being turned around to some kind of duality. So keep your temperance, keep here your balance in life, because there is healing and balance coming in, and this is also about adapting to new energies, right? You are adapting to your dreams, you are adapting to something that is coming back around, and adapting to it is not necessarily a bad thing, even though it could show up like a nightmare. These are very tricky energies, and every time we are in between oppositions, or we're in between platforms, we haven't left the old, we're not yet in the new, that's where these kind of devil energies can come in. But we're really showing the devil the door right now, saying, you know what, I recognize you, I know what it is you want. And yes, I am ready now to leave my old self, to dive deeper, to find more love in my life, to find more balance, to actually take action on what I'm thinking and what I'm saying, instead of saying one thing and doing another, or just acting quite instinctively without giving it much consideration. And also give it a little bit more consideration of what is coming out of our mouth at this time. The impact of words seems to be very important here as well. So let's pull some more tarot cards, but there is definitely coming something in that wants our attention, and something that we left burning behind us. Maybe we are burning that last bridge. Maybe there's the rest of it coming up right now, just to show us what it is that has held us back. And remember, it's something that we sent for. Everything has consequences. Everything we say and do, we're sending it out to the universe, and eventually we will have some kind of response. That's cause and effect. Back to Pluto in Aquarius. So be a little bit more selfish at this time. Spend some time alone. I feel that that's very important for many of us at this time. Spend some time alone, because there could be some kind of shortcut here where we don't have to go as deep into these energies as we did in the past. I don't feel that's the issue here, but it is coming back around to show us something that we need to take by the root now, once and for all. Finally cleanse out our old self. There is still something here we have left burning from the past, and that's okay. Maybe we didn't have neither the time or the energy in the past to really take it all by the root at once. And so it's just coming back to show us that there's just a little bit of some kind of leftovers here that we need to decide what to do with. So it seems that at this point, really considering our words, really consider how we take action on that, really consider on what it is that we want, sitting alone with our own energies, we could actually find that what we used to dream about is coming back around right now. Maybe the numbers hold meanings to you. 0, 2, 6, 14 and 15 could be important for some of you. Yes, it is time to start over. It is time to step into a new person, step into our emotional body, to come back to our emotional body. I will just put it over here, starting all over again. This is about happiness and joy, it says in this card deck, and perhaps new relationships. But here we're starting over. Maybe you want to check out your first house, because we also have Aries over here talking about the first house, which is always about new beginnings. So if you want to check Mars out in your chart, it will show you where you often find yourself at 0 point over again energy, okay, where you find that that's where in your life you're starting all over again. And what's interesting is that Mars right now is visiting the last degrees of Gemini, which is all about our throat chakra and communication. So there's a whole new you where your psyche is allowing your feelings now to step in and take more responsibility, and that will make you feel like one, right? That's also what Piscean energy is all about. So let's pull some more cards to see what's coming out here. Okay, let's pull a couple of cards. We have the Hermit in reverse, and this is saying withdrawal, isolation, and loneliness. Exactly. And I will just put that card over here because I feel that that's what those two cards are talking about. Also, there's something about not leaving your cave yet, moving more on the inside. Maybe if you don't have time to sit in a room alone, you can always go into that room within you. Even though you're with other people, you can withdraw yourself a little bit from the situation that you are in and start to converse with yourself, even though you're surrounded with other people. When we enter into that room, it feels really like we have some kind of rescue. We have something that is coming to our rescue by visiting an emotional part of ourselves, by looking inwards, going inwards, and just leaving the outside world to itself, even if it's just for a minute or two once in a while. Okay, let's have a look at the last card. We have 6 of Wands. Okay, so, and I was always saying 6 of Wands. What we want. What do you want at this point? Right now we have the Sun in Leo as I'm reading the cards here. We have Jupiter visiting Leo for the next year, so that could also be a starting off point, this reading, for the next year. But 6 of Wands is in this card deck talking about being in the spotlight, being recognized, really achieving our goals by taking action on it. But 6 of Wands in the original tarot is really about also obstacles in the road, you know, challenges ahead of us, but also grabbing things by the root right now. So that you might find that in your life force energy that's pointing to the Wands, you find that there is something stopping you here, and you need to figure out what that is. Again, back to the throat chakra card. What words do you use to describe yourself, or what are you often talking to other people about? What kind of vibe are you speaking with? Are you sending your words out with? And how much is that reflecting what you really want, or what perhaps you need? So there are some challenges here. You may feel tired at this point, and but it's nothing that we cannot conquer. But just be attentive towards what you want right now and your needs, because again, back to these cards over here, there might be a slip in time or some kind of energy showing up that is showing you a way out, a portal here that you may not expect it to come around at this time. But remember, this is a time of great magic. This is when everything comes together and creating a whole new you. At the bottom of this card deck, we have the Emperor in reverse, so we have a lot of reversals here. It's like trying again, back again. The next bottom card is the Empress, right? So there is something motherly backing you up here. There is some kind of clarity coming in. There is growth, and there is also a reminder of nurturing yourself this time. But the Emperor here in reverse in this card deck is talking about abuse of power, paternal issues, and inflexibility. Maybe you don't know where you're going at this time. You don't know. Normally the Emperor knows exactly where he wants to go. He knows where to where the next conflict will be, or where the next war he will fight will be. Here he doesn't know where to go. But this is also Jupiter energy and mix up with Mars energies perhaps for you. So Jupiter here in reverse could talk about some kind of inner wisdom. So check out your Jupiter position also in your chart, because that's the inner vision here, the inner wisdom coming back around. Maybe you don't know what to take action on. Again, sit with this energy to know when it's when to say when it's time to take action and when it's not, when it's time for you to just sit alone with your energy, because right now maybe you don't know where you want to take action on things. And be careful also about your words. Maybe for some of you, you're very powerful in what you are communicating out. Also maybe in your work life. There is something here where you need to keep your balance so that you don't overdo this energy, so that what is really powerful can become the opposite. It can become the abuse of that power. Okay, so right now we are trying to align things. We are trying to really make things work. We are trying to integrate the yin and yang perhaps. So in that energy, we need to be careful of our words and our actions, okay? Because on that timeline, or walking the line here, walking the path, we really need to remember that whatever we do, we are leaving the old self and stepping into a new, and we are allowing the emotions and the dreams of ours to step back in the spotlight. We are perhaps diving so deep in our subconscious mind right now that everything is on fire around us or within us, and therefore it is a time for caution here as well. Maybe for some of you, this is your environment around you, where you want to just hide in your cave. You really just want to sit alone to figure out how you're gonna grab all these conflicts here by the root once and for all. Because some of you here, you feel that there is someone who's quite abusive towards you. Okay, so that could be for some of you as well. So before I'm gonna pull our fairy faces or our fairy face, let's just pull some personal cards. Let's see what's coming out here. Let's see what's coming out. What is standing out right now? Hard work, toil and labor, number 38. It could be hard work right now to integrate Temis here, because she's just, like I said before, cutting through the crap. Okay, and that is hard work when we go through that road in our lives, but also it is just quite necessary now for us to revive our dreams and maybe even also our hopes, our longings. And then we have card number 34. What are we occupying ourselves with? Again, this is also about taking action, perhaps with the solar plexus card backing this up. So this could be, again, be about your job life or hobby, or your friends and family zones perhaps, that is showing up here for you. But we need to do the hand, there's something about doing the handwork here to really know our craft. So hard work right now. We should really be occupying ourselves with also the details, back to Capricorn here, to break the karma perhaps, so that we can move on our Dharma. Since we have the Tibetan energies in here and Himalaya energies as well, this could be like a portal to heaven, is what I'm hearing, a portal to other civilizations, to a different time in our lives, maybe going way back, maybe to a former life, where we were working with these things that we are so badly longing for at this time. So find out what it is that you're occupying yourself with right now, and look into the deeper meaning of that, because there's always a meaning of that. And something is coming up to show us that this is hard work, but we need to get out of this energy once and for all. We really need to look at, could there be some kind of shortcut for our dreams to really revive themselves, or yeah, something about revival here, because we are leaving an old self behind. We are stepping out of old patterns here. We are learning some hardcore lessons right now, but if we never make that jump, we'll never learn anything, and that's really when life becomes quite boring, I think. Then there is nothing for us to learn, you know. It's just one long like beep. It's just becoming extremely boring and ordinary, not about living the highs and the lows and everything in between. Again, embracing the life here in this new self. So I feel for some of us also we are having a lesson in how to use our psyche, because back to the beginning of the reading, the cards that showed you that there's something about learning to discern here, also the situations that we're in, learning to look between reading in between the lines, I think we call it, but really to activate our third eye, back to Aries energies as well. We are doing that as well here, and we are allowing our psyche to come back into balance, so that we don't have a hard time any longer to see clearly where we are moving, to understand that what we are saying is also something we need to back up with action. So let's have a look at the fairies world to see what's coming out here for us, and then I'll wrap up the reading. My name is Lone, and I'm shooting my videos off from Denmark. So maybe you want to drop a comment down below on where you are right now on your path, life path, soul path, and where you are watching from in the world. We have card number 51, and there are many faces here, right? These are the topsy-turvids, and they are reminding us, maybe back to Gemini over here, that we also have to have a little fun in life, and to be curious and ask questions and have dialogues and be curious about life. But no matter how we are turning this card, we can't see if it's upside down, right? Or if it's in reverse, back to Pisces energies. Also, there's a different perspective on things, but no matter how we turn things upside down, we end out in the same place. We will be at home with ourselves. We will find peace, okay? So also a reminder of us that no matter how things look right now, we will end up where we need to be, where we need exactly to be, Themis is saying here. So let's read a little bit about the topsy-turvids before I'm closing off the reading. And the topsy-turvids are about change of viewpoint, fresh looks, new ways of seeing. In a reading, the turvids suggest that things need to be looked at from another angle. We need to back off from our emotional entanglement and look anew. Much of the apparent confusion, back to Pisces over here, that can be a little bit confusing because we are so emotional involved when we are working with Pisces. Much of the apparent confusion about the issue is caused by a faulty point of view.
Get the opinions of honest others and then re-look at your own. Defensiveness and denial may be causing much difficulty. Try imagining that you are looking at the situation from the point of view of each of the others involved. This is not an exercise in deciding how the other ought to see things, but in discovering how they really do. Words like "he ought to see that" are not useful at this time. Again, Themis cutting through the crap. If the Turvet's card turns up and another point of view does not readily suggest itself, it may be useful to draw another card for further information. Or you might choose to do another reading addressing that issue independently. Remember to pause to listen for hints from the Turvets themselves. They are the experts in the field. So if you feel that you don't really know what this card is about, sit and reflect a little bit upon that and the answer will come to you. Maybe you want to hold this card up for your third eye as you are moving along through your everyday life. So that was what I had for you. I'm bringing you much love to wherever you are in the world. Take great care of yourself so that you also can take better care of others, and also maybe you want to learn to be better to accept assistance and help from other people, as long as they're not trying to help you in a way that's not allowing your own voice to step out in the spotlight, but where they're actually just lending a hand, or they just sit down and listen to whatever it is that you have to say. So take great care of yourselves out there, and bye for now.